I'm here with Miss Jessie Hatcher, and she is my mentor with this. Going over our I Encourage Progress Night. We've actually already held it, and we, out of the 165 students that we have served through special ed, we only had 20 parents come. So we're trying to look at and see, and Jessie, chime in anytime you want to, about what can we do to improve the participation for next year with it. We did send out invitations to each individual student. I think the invitations were kind of generic. I think they need to be more, instead of just saying, oh, it's special ed or an I Encourage Progress Night, I think we should have added a little bit more details as far as what an I Encourage Progress Night was.
More of a description of what all is going on.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of like what we did on the flyers, where we put, are you ready to be more informed on how to interpret your child's individual education plan? Are you ready to be involved in your school's education of special needs students? I think that, because we had 12 business owners come that were ready to speak as far as how could they be more informative and more helpful with our transition plans that Corey went over for the high school, and getting them involved. We just didn't have a lot of parent participation, so I'm anxious to see how much of this, and like the ones that come, our special needs students, were the servers and the hostess, they were, when people were trying to talk to them, they were not very friendly. They didn't really know how to respond to people. So I'm thinking maybe that we could do maybe not necessarily a class per se, but maybe pull them out during maybe a connections time to sit down and do kind of something like a social story possibly with those kids, especially the older ones that come, just because I think they don't really know enough about their IEPs either.
Right.
And, years ago we had that Aspire program where the kids actually led their own IEP meetings at the high school level, and then we had the kids attend at the elementary and middle school level and kind of voice their input on their goals. I think we need to really push something for next year through the special education teachers, maybe during their progress monitoring time, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to pull one off to the side and actually go over goals that were monitored so that they have more of a voice. And when people ask them what they're working towards, maybe we can get more of a conversation started with the kids for advocacy kind of thing. Because that's kind of where I wanted to go with this I Encourage Progress Night, is just getting the parents and the community all on one page, that they're just not special needs students. They're part of our community, and they're growing up and they're graduating, and they're wanting to hold jobs, and they're wanting to get driver's license. How can we help them do that? What can we put in place in the IEPs to help them do that kind of thing? So I'm just kind of thinking, do you have anything as far as the setting, maybe? Because we done it in the library at the elementary school, and I don't really know how accommodating that was. I'm just kind of thinking maybe swapping it over to more of a neutral setting, because we did have more elementary parents come and participate versus
they felt more comfortable in that setting versus the older ones. And
so I'm wondering if maybe we could do it like we hold the room that we hold the board meetings in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
At the board office or at the PLC building, that might actually be a little bit more neutral setting, and it would give us more room as far as them being able to see the projections too, because I think that was some of the issue too with the way the library's set up. It didn't have where everybody could see what was projected on to the screen to be able to ask more questions about it. I'm thinking too, like when we didn't have any handouts to give them when they come. It was all on a projector screen, and we're used to having alphabet soup with all those acronyms. what do you think about maybe doing some more handouts where it's got like, if we say BIP, we mean it's a behavior intervention plan, and explain what a behavior intervention plan does on maybe like a little handout sheet.
Definitely. I think almost kind of like a little mini booklet sort of thing with like, this is what we're going to be going over. Here's like, what all these different things mean. Like, here, tell us if you have any questions sort of thing. Like write it down and drop it in a box or something whenever you go to leave too.
Well, and see, that was the whole purpose of this is, our parent surveys, we didn't have a whole lot of, they wanted more transparency. The parents felt like they were being left out and didn't really know what was going on within the SPED department. And we've had a whole lot of changes this year with people moving around and classes combined and students moving back into that kind of thing. So I felt like maybe we just needed something to show the parents that, hey, we are transparent. We are wanting to help you and help you know your child.
Right.
But at the same time, we can't go into legality stuff,
Right, absolutely.
with it. So, but I kind of want to get some input from you being my mentor and kind of helping me oversee all this. I wanted to get your input on it with it.
No, I think that these are great ideas. I think that, just making it a little more neutral and all of that, I think it'll open it up for more people to feel relaxed and like they can come in and, be a part of the conversation and really talk and open up.
How do you feel about, instead of having it so late in the year, maybe have one at the beginning of the year and then maybe like a follow-up meeting at the end, sometime like in April, around spring break, May-ish with it. Because I know that there's kids that qualify at the beginning of the year, and then there's kids that qualify at the end of the year too with testing. So I want to touch base with both sets of parents, not just the ones that have always had an IEP and the parents kind of expect, okay, we got an annual review or my kid's going to get tested this year.
Right.
I want to touch all of them at some point.
That definitely, I mean, if you miss them the first go round, you get them the second go round. So, yeah, I think that will open it up to have a lot more people involved.
All right, sounds good.